Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of the Not a Linux Guru Guy channel. Greg Cobble coming in from Denver, Colorado today, and we're looking at Fedora 33 installation procedure, how to get it installed correctly. See, I installed Fedora 33 on my new computer a while back the other day, and I had an issue with it. So we're going to go through that. And how after the fifth time I installed it, I got it through. We'll talk with you on the other side of the intro. One of the issues I had with Fedora 33 was when I installed it 5 times in a row. First time I installed it, I actually missed setting the software amount. So we're going to go look at that, and we'll look at the other issues I had as we talk through this. On to the desktop. Now what you're seeing here is my setup. This is what the installation looks like on the net installer. That's what I'm doing, is net installer here. Now the regular installation, like 3 of these issues. Once you boot into go through the grub menu, then brings you to the first thing brings you to is where you select your language and your keyboard type language, and you click on that, continue. You might have to click on it twice or use your enter key or something, because sometimes it doesn't seem to respond the first time. Don't know why. On 2 computers I've used it had that problem. Anyway, you click the continue on the install button, then you come here to the screen, which is kind of different from most installations. And you saw this last time when I installed the Fedora on my computer, on this computer, which I have Linux Mint still on it. Yay! Yeah. So I installed the keyboards. These things you only have to look at, make sure right. English US, yep. English United States, yep. That's the ones I chose in the screen before this one. And America's Denver time zone, correct. So I don't have to worry about those 3. I can bypass those. Now this one is a closest mirror installation, closest mirror, so that's going to be okay. But this one is if you don't select different desktop environment to install, to automatically install Fedora Silver Server Edition. If you don't want a Server Edition, you got to install something different on here. It's only on the net installer. I think on the other one they have these settings here. If I remember correct, or one of these settings here. One other one, which is this here, system installation. To get to in a minute. So first time I installed it, I forgot to click this. And I forgot, and I accidentally installed Server Edition on my desktop computer, which wasn't fun. What I do is go down through here. You select a minimal install if you're the kind of person who doesn't want anything on it other than bare bones stuff. Or you install Fedora Workstation. You install a cloud server if you want it. Install KDE Plasma, XFCE Desktop, LXDE Desktop, LXQT Desktop, Cinema Desktop, Mate Desktop, and Sure Desktop environment, which is a little different. Yeah, I probably don't want to worry about that one too much. It's kind of a children's, designed for children learning type thing. It's a special situation, but you can install if you want to. Now here you can select additional software to install, which that was the second time I installed it, is that I installed so much hardware on here that I ran out of space on my hard disk, apparently. So I haven't, although there's a reason why I ran out of space on my disk. Not because I installed so much software on it, but that was part of the reason when it installed all this stuff, it still filled up the installation disk that it was installing on and created that problem. I'll explain that more in a bit, but yeah. So if you want to, you can have it select a bunch of extra stuff here. There's all sorts of stuff you can look at. Fedora, Eclipse, editors, educational software, electronics lab, engineering and scientific stuff, games and entertainment, headless management, and LibreOffice, multi-applications. See, if I know I was going to use LibreOffice, I'll go ahead and click on that right away. Network servers, neuron modeling simulators. That's interesting. This group includes simulators used in modeling neurons and their networks. I guess assuming that's not brain neurons. Not sure what other neurons there would be. Office productivity. Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff on here. Sound and video, system tools, text-based internet, web managers. So, yeah, you can install a bunch of stuff on here if you want, or just a bare bones minimum install and go with that if you wanted that. So, anyway, I forgot to check. What I ended up checking was Sim desktop because I wanted Sim on there. So I checked on that, and you see it checks off the Fedora Server Edition and select Sim desktop. Now if you click Done up here, it'll go back eventually. That's a Sim desktop. What I've selected. So you have to remember to do that, or you'll get a server installed on your computer. I had to, that's the first time I realized I had to do that. Second time I realized I had to reinstall was when I ran out of disk space on my laptop, and I thought, well, why did I do that? I don't know. Strange. So I went through and I did the installation according to this. Automatic partitioning selected, it says. But it's a warning sign there. It means you need to go in and check off what you want to do here. You gotta select the disk you want it to appear on. So that's the only disk you can, so it's already selected. The check mark there. And specialize, you can add a disk if you wanted to. Automatic is what's selected. Now we're going to leave it automatic. So what I've done is I installed this with 9 gigabytes of RAM. But if you just click automatic and move on, it's a blank disk, so I don't have to make space available. All the space is available, so I don't have to do that. And so I click on automatic, like most people are going to tend to do when they put this on. And you have more than 8 gigabytes of memory in your system, then you're going to have this issue or problem potentially crop up, as I understand it. So we're going to see what happens here. When we click done on that, and then you want to say your root password and your regular password for your thing. And it's done. And user creation. Create couple. Make the administrator. Yep. Password is advanced. All that does, if you click advanced, it takes you here. It gives you a home directory. Specify user ID manually. You specify your user ID manually. Group manually. And you see a wheel on some administrator. Add me the wheel group. And yeah, so anyway, That's if you want to change things up a bit on some of the stuff, still automatically say you up for. So once that's done, say done. Oh, the password's not matched. Yeah, whenever you click done and nothing happens, you gotta look down here at this little thing there. The password does not match. So apparently there's something wrong with the password. Do that. And click done. And it goes there. So now I got user created, I got root created. And it's networks established. And we got our installation disk set up. And what? So it's in the desktop environment we're going to use. Install on the system. And you notice down here it says begin installation. Whenever you finish successfully finished up all these, say begin installation. And you can start it. Now I'm going to pause the video at this point, like I said before, to do the installation and show you what happens. Assuming it does happen. Hopefully it does, so I can explain it to you what happens. And we'll take it from here. Okay, we're back to our Fedora default setup boot up that we just booted in Cinnamon desktop. That's what it looks like after about an hour or so of 45 to 50 minutes of downloading files from the net and installing everything you need to install. So you install minimal stuff. There's hardly anything on here. So you didn't select any additional software. So yeah, you have your normal preferences, administration, and here you know sound and video, nothing. Practically Xburn and television viewer. Internet, you got Firefox, Thunderbird, transmission, Pigeon Internet, HexChat, that's all there. Graphics, document scanner. I have Mate visual image viewer and Shotwell. Your normal accessory stuff. Notice there's no office stuff on here, nothing. So what is the result of that as far as the amount of how we got? Notice we got 10.7 gigabytes left out of what? We installed 30 some gigabytes on it, I think. Yeah, 30 gigabyte hard drive on here. Yeah, how can that be? Well, yeah, well, let me show you what it automatically did when you hit automatic on it. Okay. Notice right here it's got a root drive where it install the whole root, 15 gigabytes. We install the whole root drive. It's a LVM drive partitioned off of the VDA2, which is 30 megabytes, so we got 15 of that gigabytes have been designated as a root partition. And that's exactly what it did to me. It installed that, so it tried to install the whole everything installed on that one partition. So when I was installing my software, it ran out of space all of a sudden. I went, what? How can that be? I had the 258 gigabyte hard drive on here. I ran out of space already, and I found out Fedora had tried to install 15. Tried to install the whole system on 16 gigabyte hard drive. Okay. Yeah, and you see same thing when you look in disk over here. You just got a 16 gigabyte block device installed. This is what installed root on it. So it tries to put everything on the 16 gigabyte hard drive. Root drive. You try to install any more software on there, it all go on there. I assume, I don't know, but I assume the home directory would go on the other drive. But I don't know. Doesn't seem like it because it shows that if you go in here and you go to, let's say, documents, it still shows only 10.7 gigabytes of hard drive space on the document directory. See file system over here. It's based on the whole drive, I think. But it still says only 10 gigabytes of hard drive space left on the hard drive, even though you really got a lot more than that. So you hit automatic and you have over 8 gigabyte hard drive or something like that. Maybe even if you do, it's going to try and install the whole thing on a 16 gigabyte partition of your drive. It creates LVM partition. So what did I do? I had to go partition it myself. That's what I had to do, was partition myself. So I'll show you that in a minute. When I get back, I'll ring that up. We'll go back to the beginning and we'll show you what I did. Hold on. Alright, here we are back at the installation screen. I've already selected Cinnamon Desktop here, you can see. And I've set the password for root. And I created my user me. All the same as before, the only difference is I haven't done anything with all this yet, automatic partitioning. Here's what I did. Go in here. I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this. This is the partitioner. Below the GUI. It's a GUI partitioner. It's included with this. So go in here. And then you say done. You're not really done, but it'll say that you say done, pretending you are done. So yeah. You click done. And it goes to here. You have free space. Woohoo! So first you want to make sure you have your GRP thing, partition table. You want to set your partition table right there. No partition table, no kidding. Now what you want on here is if you have EFI system, is definitely want to use a GPT partition table, not the other one. It handles bigger disks, especially if you have a big disk, stuff it handles bigger disks better. Okay, okay. But also it allows you to set up your partition for booting. So what you do then, once you create that, your partition table is done, you click on that and you can start you're going to create a partition here. VDA disk. I just want to create a whole 28 gigabyte partition on 30 gigabyte hard drive output. However, we're not going to do that. We're going to create a 512 megabyte partition. I should have to set that first. Let me set this. megabyte partition on this. This is going to be your boot partition, so you want to set it here. And you want to select BIOS boot. Alright. Want it encrypted and all that, you click here, but I'm not going to do that here for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to OK. And it creates so 512 2 megabyte. Oh, yeah, but it'll force you to create a 2 megabyte partition for your boot partition instead of 512 megabytes. It's okay if that's what they want, that's what they'll do. So it works. And then you select free space here, and you can click this plus sign here, and then you can enter in your next partition table now. So just for easy sake and stuff, we'll leave that out, and we'll create a swap disk on dynamic swap disk. Generally, in most cases, you want to create a swap disk. You want to have hibernation, all that kind of stuff. happen automatically. But we're just gonna, for this purpose, make one big partition with the rest of the drive system. Just so we can do that now. So do is put EFT, you're gonna put ext4 as your file system. That'll keep it, because if you select Btrfs, you'll have the same problem you had last time. Or you select physical volume LVM, have the same problem you had last time. Here's where you select swap if you have a swap file that you're going to make. You'd subtract out the number of gigabytes you want for your swap file out of the ones up there. So you leave it and you come back and create a swap file. We're going to do that. So we're going to go with ext4. That'll force that to put this, we'll just call this root. Root. Out point will be your root slash, a single slash. Approach as you want. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to create this boot partition here, and all the rest of the hard drive is going to be this one partition here. You say if you wanted a home partition to be divvied out, or you wanted a swap partition, you could do that too. Just by extracting out what you want out of this, even for the root. Say I wanted to create a root partition, I know it's going to be, say I wanted a 16-byte root partition. Give myself the same problem I had last time, but yeah. At any rate, there you go. And you say you're done. This is a summary of the changes. Going to destroy the format, which is unknown because it doesn't have format. Creates a GPT partition table. Partition BD1 be our boot partition. Create partition number 2, BD2. And we're going to make that into an ext4 and a boot BIOS format for this partition up here for BD1. We say accept changes. And it says you're ready to go. Now I'm not going to install this here at this point because I really don't need to. So yeah, you just get an installation and it'll be fixed. You have your whole hard drive for use. I don't know why it does that, but why these limits only 16 gigabytes on your hard drive, but so happens if you just automatically create it. Yeah, I have no idea why it is, but it could have something to do with the memory, whereas I know it'll create a 16 gigabyte hard drive off of the memory sometimes. If you have a lot of memory, it adds 16 gigabytes on its computer. Over here, it's the only thing I figured because I've installed it before and never did this, but there you go. That's what happens. Install that block device. And I noticed when I just boot up on the live CD on here, it'll create a 4 gigabyte block device. If I'm on a live off the USB port. So yeah, we'll go back and chat about this and see what you think. Alrighty. So there you go. That's what I encountered. That's what fourth time I've installed the system. It was just my own glitch. I kind of realized what I'd done wrong afterwards, and I erased it and started over, so I didn't have to wait through the whole installation process. But the other 4 times, I had to wait, go through this whole hour-long installation process. It took forever. Yeah, I love Fedora. I like Fedora. It's stable. It's put most everything I want on it. I can create printers on it easier. I don't have any problem setting up the printer on it, like I did with the Garuda Linux. And other than that, I also had a little hard time on the Endeavor as well, the other Arch-based system. I'm going to have to check out Manjaro and see if it does the same thing, if it has problems with the printer or what. But I don't know what it is about Arch-based systems, but they seem to have printer problems. And it's difficult to get the printer set up on it for some reason. Anyway, yeah, so I've opened Fedora. I put it on this computer, and I'm enjoying it pretty much. It works. And the good thing about it is kind of a rolling release type situation where you get more up-to-date software than you get on Linux Mint over here. So, yeah. I know if I bring up OBS over here, for instance, it's a more recent version. There's added features to it from my OBS on Linux Mint. So they both work. Fedora has its benefits and positives. I even installed, I don't know if I should admit this, but I installed Edge on it, developer vision. Mainly because why? Well, I had a situation where I was trying to get Voodoo to play on here, and for some reason it wouldn't do it. I could get on Amazon Prime, I could get that video to play, but Voodoo would come up dead every time. And some I read said Safari and Microsoft Edge were the only two they could run on it flawlessly. So I tried installing it. It still didn't work, but so now I got Edge on the system. I'm probably going to leave it off at some point, but I've got it on there right now. So right now my current setups are, I have Fedora set up over here on this, my new computer I got Linux Mint set up over here on this computer. That's my main driver. And I got Garuda out in the living room. That's my setup right now. That's what I'm working with. And I did get Fedora installed finally, after 5 tries. But yeah, that's a net installer. I don't know how it'll work on the other installations, the spins, or if I installed the cinnamon spin on there or something, maybe it would work better. Who knows? Till next time, may the Linux force be with you. Bye.